E&D Finance, helping you making better financial decisions. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. So let's get started. New year, and may the money be with you. Now let's talk about Palantir stock. So I just looked up some news about Palantir, and here's the first news that comes into my eye. And this news says calculating the fair value of Palantir Technologies, and they use the valuation method DCF, which stands for discounted cash flow. So the present fair value of the stock price. So yeah, I personally don't do that. If I want to buy stock, the decisional question I ask is whether that company is able to do at least better in the future or not. So this only question, yes or no, better in the future, yes or no, nothing else. But yeah, for educational purposes, I can show you the formula of the discounted cash. Smash the like button for no reason. Flow. And here it is. There are some variables that you have to know. You have to know the cash flow period, which also means the revenue. But yeah, cash flow for the next year, cash flow for the second year, cash flow for the third year, etc. So some people just project the cash flow up to 10 years in the future. So that's ridiculous, because in the IT sector, in the IT industry, it can change literally every month. So you cannot project something like 10 years in the future. That's way too imprecise. And another variable that you have to know, which is also kind of easy to answer, is the interest rate. In our case, in this case, for example, is the gain that you want to have in percentage. So like for example, 10% yearly gain, or 20% yearly gain, or 30%, something like that. Any questions so far? Feedbacks or comments? Just leave it in the video description below. So yeah, that's why this formula, this discounted cash flow, so DCF, is, which stands for in our case, the present fair value of the stock price. So because of these variables, which is so imprecise to predict, that's why the present value is also imprecise itself. But yeah, here comes another news article about the Palantir stock, and they say Palantir stock has roughly tripled in price since its direct listing 3 months ago. Interest in data mining firm stock was initially tepid due to its controversial business model. Well, it's kind of controversial because they're doing businesses with companies and government, which the projects are kind of controversial. So yeah, it's not the business model itself, but the projects are controversial. And heavy dependence on government contracts. Well, that's good to know, because what I've seen so far, they have quite many clients in all over industries. So this is really interesting to read, that is heavily dependence on the government contracts and lack of profits. Yeah, I will show it to you later, and etc. So the next news is about the Palantir stock, which they mentioned about the co-founder, or the founder, Peter Thiel, that he was also founder of PayPal, and he was, on top of that, he was also one of the early backers of Facebook, which means Peter Thiel has a track record of being a successful entrepreneur, which is a good indicator for this company, Palantir company, because the co-founder or the founder of this company is also Peter Thiel. It's a very good indicator. Next, we just have a quick look at their earnings report real quick, which they reported on the 12th of November 2020. And here you can see the growth, the revenue growth is 50% compared to the previous year, which is quite a lot. That's why many investors are very happy with what they see. But something that I couldn't find out from this earnings report, or earnings presentation, however you want to call it, it's their net income, so whether they made a profit or loss. So I have to look it up on somewhere else, and here I can say that I could see that the revenue could increase to roughly 300 million US dollars on that quarter, the third quarter 2020, which means for the months of July, August, and September. Yeah, I think it's that quarter. But they had a loss of about 850 million US dollars on that quarter for that 3 months. A loss of 850 million US dollars. So yeah, well, personally, I'm not that convinced of this kind of figures. But yeah, the co-founder is a good co-founder. So in the long run, I'm fairly certain that they're able to turn things around. Next, institutional investors. So these are professional investors who are invested into this company, and BlackRock is one of them. And BlackRock is the biggest investment firm in the world. Currently, they manage about 8 trillion US dollars $8 trillion US dollars in money for their clients. So just to give you an idea what you can do with 8 trillion US dollars, you literally can buy 100% of Apple stocks. So you could literally buy the whole company, Apple, plus Amazon, plus Microsoft, plus Facebook, plus Google, something like that. So all these 5 the biggest companies in the world. One of the biggest and the biggest. So that's 8 trillion US dollars, so that's a lot of money. That's why BlackRock is the biggest investment firm in the world. And they are invested around $500 million US dollars into this company. And there are also other institutional investors who are also invested into Palantir with around 800 million US dollars and 650. So it's a good sign that it is a good company to invest in. Have a quick look at the Palantir stock price real quick. So currently the stock price is traded at around 24 US dollars. The market cap is at around 40 billion US dollars. So let's have a quick look at this chart real quick. As you can see here on this red line, it is on the upward trend still. But yeah, as you can see here, it's trading sideways from 25th November 2020 up to now. But you can see this bull run here from roughly, let's say, 11th, 12th, yeah, since they reported their earnings report, since they released their earnings report, there is a fairly good bull run, like literally from 10 US dollars, something like that, all the way to 30 US dollars. Okay, let's have a quick look at the RSI indicator real quick. It is at around 47, which means it's neither overbought nor oversold, which also means that this stock price will continue to trade sideways in the next days or weeks. But yeah, in the long run, it has the potential to 10 times its stock price, because they can, I will show it to you real quick here, because they can have all kinds of customers in all kinds of industries. So the most recent one, like 23rd December, they could continue their contract with NHS, which is a health authority, which the contract is worth about 32 million US dollars, or like a few days before that, they could also partner with another company with a contract size of around 140 million US dollars. And yeah, you can see in this month they could acquire a lot of customers or extend their partnership. That's the good thing about this business model, about this Palantir company. That's why it has the potential to 10x its stock price. I also have a video about other stocks that can 10 times its stock price. Just check it out in the investing playlist. And I also would like to add that I will make videos about options trading, so stay tuned. According to YouTube, you should watch the video on the left side on the screen next.